What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. This video, I want to talk about The Last of Us Part 2. I want to talk about if Joel or will Joel barely be in the game. Now, we just got the new trailer for The Last of Us Part 2. We got the release date. I do want to make a couple Last of Us Part 2 videos on the channel over the next couple days. So if you guys want to see anything in particular, or if there's any ideas or any things you want me to actually talk about, leave them in the comments below, and I will absolutely try my best to get to them. We're also going to be starting up our community series for Last of Us Part 2. Now that we know the release date, that'll start up in December, so we got a lot of awesome things coming when it comes to The Last of Us Part 2. And in this trailer, I think one of the more, there was a lot. There was actually a lot we kind of learned. I think we now know Ellie's motivation and why she kind of went off the rails and why she wants to go Lone Ranger, right? We got that, and we also got the introduction of Joel for pretty much the first time. We have yet to see his face. We obviously heard his voice once before, but we got to see him again. And boy, does he look old, and boy, does he look amazing. Amazing the difference between the last year of the PS3 era versus the last year of the PS4 era. We've definitely come a long way. The question is, how do they want to approach Joel? And we're going to be talking about him. I didn't want to do if he'll die or not. I do want to make that a community series video. Tyler will be on for that. We could talk about if Joel, in a way, will be a villain of this game. That's a very good discussion as well, and kind of it can be looked at through different lenses. That'll also be a community series video. So I thought, what else could I do that I could just do by myself that wouldn't be something that I really want to talk with Tyler about and hear his thoughts. And I thought, well, depending on how they go with this game, Ellie could actually be in it by herself or with somebody that's not Joel for more than we expect. And I guess that's the question. I'm obviously posing it to you guys as well. Do you think Joel is going to be in this game a lot or a little? I feel like it's only going to be one of those. I feel like because the way the game's going, because we really don't know. I mean, there's been trailers. There's been hints, is that Ellie's mom in the one trailer? There's a lot of theories going around just in general. But for the most part, Naughty Dog is, for what I think, keeping this game the most secret out of any game they've ever made. Neil Druckmann did a post today. I think you guys are seeing this today as well as when I'm recording this, that this is like their biggest project. And even in terms of storytelling, this is the biggest undertaking they've ever had. We have people going to the media event, that's for sure, and we're going to hear from them, I believe, on Thursday, and they're going to be playing 2 brand new levels of the game. So they're showing it a little. Yeah, it's not like they're literally saying, nope, we'll show 3 trailers and we're done. But for the most part, they're keeping this game very, very secretive. They aren't going to show us much of it, and they've kind of earned that. And The Last of Us, with the first game, has earned it, where it's like, we don't need to, and they don't feel obligated to show us anything. Think about Uncharted 4. We saw a pretty good amount of Uncharted 4. Yeah, we've seen, that 7, 8, I think what you guys are probably seeing now. We've seen like that 10-minute last year's E3 presentation. We got some cutscenes, we got some gameplay, but pretty much that's it. Then we got like another, minute in this trailer today, and so that's pretty much all we've gotten so far in terms of the public eye. So, and to kind of rally back to what I'm talking about is we don't know. I mean, really, that's why I'm saying I think it's going to be one or the other. I think people are going to go into this game with the expectation that, yeah, Joel's going to be her partner. They're going to have that 2-player kind of thing going on, not where you can actually play with a second person, but the co-op kind of aspect that the first game had, where you're always with at least one other person. For the most part, you're with somebody else for the entirety, besides a couple examples, the entirety of The Last of Us. So people can go into that thinking, all right, well, Joel is going to be that person. And with them removing Ellie's girlfriend from the picture, which definitely seemed to happen from this trailer, and that's why she goes, berserk, that does open the door for another companion. Maybe Tommy is the companion for some of it. Tommy was in this trailer quite a bit. So, we'll see who they pair Ellie with. We'll also see if she goes lone wolf. And most of the game, the game's general direction is kind of that, right? That she wants to end things, and not like herself. She wants to end things with them and the people that took, people that she loved or a person that she loved from her. And so you can make the argument either way. You can make the argument that, well, if they're going to stick with the 2-person aspect, yeah, Joel would be that second person, and he'll be in the majority of the game. From the cutscene, it definitely seemed like she was going on her own, and we see her multiple times by herself, taking on waves of people. Now, those waves of people that she's taking on in different locations, they don't necessarily have to be without Joel. It's just that they didn't include Joel in the shot. That's 100% possible, and something that they could have done to throw us off. I 100% think that's something they could do. But we also got scenes, her on horseback in different locations. She definitely sets out to do things by herself. I don't know if Joel maybe stays back, but it definitely does kind of connect to when Joel sees her in that house when she's singing with the guitar. So those could all be in the same spot, and that's the other thing is for the most part that shot. And when when he says what you doing, kiddo, and then even this one where he says like, do you really think I was gonna let you do this on your own? They could very well be in the same hour of the game. Those could very well be two shots, different locations obviously, but they could be within the same hour or two of the game, and that could lead to is Joel just in the middle of the game? Is he not in the beginning? Is he not in the end? And that obviously does have to do with, and the answer to that question probably also has to do with, is he going to live or die? And I have my prediction of what I think. But you could just say if he lives, well, yeah, I mean the odds are a lot higher that he'll be through the entire game. If they eliminate him in the middle of the game and he's just in that middle section, he's not really in the beginning, he's not really in the end, obviously because he couldn't be, then a lot of this would just be Ellie's personal journey. Depends on what they want to do. Depends on what they want to do with Joel's character. And it kind of, and again, everything you can look at from both angles. It makes sense that they would want to have Joel not in it much because that first game, yeah, it was the journey of Ellie and Joel and them becoming, like a father-daughter thing and the protection there. But a lot of it also, you could say, it was Ellie's journey. A lot of it was Joel's journey too, though, really changing the way he perceived the world, the way he perceived people, after losing his daughter, then getting Ellie and kind of, molding that relationship. You could argue a lot of it was about character growth with Joel, and if they want to do that with Ellie, give her the spotlight. Obviously, she has the spotlight. She's the main character. We're playing as her. A lot of people would argue that she's the main character of the first game, but this one's being thrown in our faces like, okay, she is the driving force of that game, and that's awesome. I'm not saying I'm disagreeing or I don't want that. I do want that, and I can't wait for that. But if they're going to do that, the question is, do they think that they could just have her and say, well, this is a personal journey? For the most part, she's going to be alone. It depends. It depends. The Last of Us really did well, and one of the reasons it did well is there were a lot of people. There was a lot of people, even Tess. We had a lot of rotating cast members in as that set. Even like David, who kind of started as a friend and then obviously became what he was. That made The Last of Us The Last of Us. So removing that, it is a risk. And so maybe you could say, well, because of that, you would think Joel's going to be in it quite a bit. And I wouldn't disagree. I think my own personal answer is he won't be in it as much as people expect. I don't know if he'll barely be in it, like an hour or two, but if people are expecting him to be in it for most of the game, you could use the same kind of words, majority, most, all of it, I think he's going to be in it less than half of the game. I'll make that. I wanted to come into this video with a bold prediction. I'll say Joel will be, and I could be completely wrong. But again, depending on what they do with Joel, if they take him out of the picture, that'll greatly impact the answer to this question. But I'll say that Joel will be in it less than half, less than 50% of this game. Joel will be in it. And that's just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree. And I think it could be really fun. I want to see what you guys have to say about it. But so, that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this discussion. And again, also what you want me to talk about Last of Us 2 related going forward. We're going to be starting the community series up in a couple months. We're also going to have a few more videos for the rest of this week talking about The Last of Us. So if there's something you want us to talk about, leave it in the comments below. And either I or Tyler and I in the community series, we will get to that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel podcast. Now hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. Lots of videos going up in the next couple days. Lots of Last of Us stuff going up in general. Very, very excited for this game. Coming out sooner than I expected. I thought it would be May or June, February. That's completely fine. Sooner the better, right? So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.